All right, where's my Game Stoppers? Who's in on GameStop right now? Anybody? All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Coffee with the CEO. Man, I got to tell you, I was in and out of that stock numerous times in December. I did okay with it. I didn't play it long. I didn't, I just, I didn't believe in the company. I believe the company was going to go belly up. I still believe the company will eventually go belly up. For all you game stoppers out there, understand that the only play that I would make on GameStop right now is when the market opens, I am going to look at GameStop way out. They call them YOLO options. You only live once. You only live once. Yeah, YOLO options. I'm a boomer. I'm not scared to admit it. I'm a boomer. If you're a millennial, I got nothing against you. I know we rebelled against our parents, so I understand. I'm gonna share my screen because this is really the only one that I would look at. It's in all honesty. I'm not scared to show it. This is Robinhood. I got a few dollars in here. And my expiration that I would be looking at is expiration January 2023, all the way down at this $2 put. I'm looking to buy a put. Here's what I'm looking to do with this, guys. In all honesty, I'm looking to buy this put and just sit on it and wait for the price to drop. I'm telling you right now, I expect to lose my money. I'm only going to throw $100 at it. I'm going to look at it as like a crazy hand of blackjack. But I don't know. I guess if I got a little skin in the game, I'll pay attention to it a little more and just follow it along because, guys, this ain't the last time something like this is going to happen. Instant information drives this kind of stuff. And these guys are unorganized. So there's no leadership, no chain of command, this is the hedge fund's worst nightmare. This is a ugly thing, I think. I do believe at some point it will be controlled by the SEC, the security police. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about today. But I know it's on everybody's mind. Man, GameStop, I wish I'd have bought some of that when it was $4. I did, and it went up a little. I bought options. It went up a little, and I sold them. I also bought. I also believed it was going to blow out, and I got caught in the uprise. It was $10 I had in it. So I didn't even lose a cup of coffee. What I want to talk about is one thing nobody really talks about. I watch a lot of different videos about millionaire habits. I've read books, The Millionaire Next Door, blah, 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 blah. And we all seen all the hype and clickbait about it. But I got to tell you, the one thing you got to do is invest in yourself. I came to a realization when I was taking care of Dad before he passed away, when he had Alzheimer's, and his mind was starting to go. Somebody said to me, you understand that when he's gone, everything that's in there goes with him. He had lived through the end of the Great Depression. He doesn't really remember it. He remembers being very poor. He lived through world wars. He lived through good times, bad times. A movie star being a president, and he was alive during Obama's administration. So he got to see a black man as president. And then we'll leave that story for another time. It took a nurse to help me with that one. So when he talked about things, when with Alzheimer's, it's not like they always forget. With Alzheimer's, through my experience with it, there was moments of very clear thinking for him. But it was never present time. It was when he was a kid, when he was a teenager, jobs he had, things that happened many years ago. At one point, he seen Ronald Reagan on the news, and he said, that guy's a great movie star. I said, he was president. And he's like, hell no, he wasn't. He didn't remember Reagan being president. But I listened to what he said because I wanted to absorb the knowledge that he was releasing, that he was going to take with him when he passed. The one thing you can invest in that nobody can ever take from you is in yourself. I did a show about starting over. And I wouldn't have to start over all the way back 13 years ago where I don't know anything. No matter what anybody, Amazon, any bank, any government, anybody could do, they can't take what I've learned. They can change my situation tomorrow, but I still have all that knowledge up there, all that experience to move ahead starting tomorrow. I don't, I think if you, I harp on a lot of things. Excuse me, pick your lane, focus, one niche, all those things. I do that because of the knowledge. It's easier to become an expert about coffee mugs than it is to become an expert in antiques. There's a lot of differences. This is a much smaller market to focus on and understand. Here's one of my watches. If you're new to the channel, welcome. But I kind of am a little over the top with my watches. I do have a gold Rolex, and it's not working right. I sent it to Rolex. I went all the way up to Vegas and dropped it off the Rolex, and it has a diamond bezel. The bezel is what goes around the face of the watch where you tell time. There's diamonds around the face. I knew that they were not original to the watch when I bought the watch. I have the whole history of the watch when I bought the watch. It was not new. It's a 1987 model number 18038. It has a serial number on it. I know where the serial number is and all. I've learned about this. I sent it to Rolex, and Rolex sent it back and said they can't work on it because the bezel, the diamonds, were not original to the watch. Um, it doesn't make the watch inauthentic. They will not work. Rolex will not work on anything that they didn't do. So by changing that bezel, I no longer can have a Rolex watchmaker work on my watch. So I know I'm not the first person that's had this problem. So I asked the Rolex technician. They have a fancy name for what they do. That's like, you don't call them watches; they are timepieces. It's a freaking watch, and I get to say it's a watch because I paid for it. I'm not a snob when it comes to that stuff. So I said to him, I said, I'm sure I'm not the first person that has taken a presidential Rolex and added a diamond bezel. He says, no. I said, where can I go to get it fixed? He says, can I pass your phone number off to a grand watchmaker? I said, a grand watchmaker? A grand watchmaker is the man that teaches, and then most of them are men. I'm not sure if there's any women that are grand watchmakers, because it takes decades to get that title. So the guy called me. He has a small shop at his home, fully licensed, insured. I have all the credentials for the company. He focuses on one watch brand, Rolex. That's it. Don't ask him about any other watch. Could he fix any other watch? Absolutely. He's a grand watchmaker. This dude's got mad skills. He can carve a gear for my watch if he had to. They actually manufacture the parts for it still, so he won't have to make anything. But that's why they call them watchmakers. This guy's focused on one thing. He looks at the same thing over and over and over again. He invested a lot of time and energy into his knowledge. These are the people that are successful. Warren Buffett supposedly reads 3 to 5 hours a day. I love to read. I don't know that I could read for 3 to 5 hours every day. What I could see myself doing, and I have a feeling this is more of what Warren does. Nobody really knows. Nobody sits in there with him for that 3 to 5 hours. He actually goes into his inner office, closes the door, and he's in there for 3 to 5 hours. He has said that he reads. What I think he does more of is that he absorbs information and he spends time analyzing it up here. I'm sure he takes notes and he doodles and he does all kinds of things like I do. But he focused on one thing, one very narrow, very small, very minute area. He was once asked about Amazon, and he said, that's a great place, but it's beyond my comprehension. It's outside of my scope. It's not the type of thing that I'm looking at. Tesla, not what he's looking for. Originally, Apple and Microsoft were computers, and he thought they were crazy. Now, the largest holding in his portfolio is Apple. And I have a theory about that, but I believe it has to do with the cult following of Apple, and Apple switching from a growth company to a long-term cash positive company like Coca-Cola. They've been around long enough that they've finished their growth cycle, that really risky growth, and are now able to settle back and be Apple. Um, they are on the cutting edge of technology, or so they like to make people think. I don't know if they're the only, they're not the only ones, but that's what they focus on, and they focus on very few things. They don't get into all technology. It's not like GE, who used to create light bulbs, who is now trying to go to the moon. So I really resonate right now with the times that we're in. I think I think, and I said this yesterday, I think there's a lot of craziness coming. And the only way I see to be very well prepared for it is to have a strong faith, which I do. I'm not telling you have to have faith in the God, in my God, or Jesus, or any of that. I have a strong faith in my beliefs. I don't tell anybody that they have to do anything. I tell them what I believe, and it's very hard to argue if I'm telling you what I believe. You may not agree with me, but you can't tell me I'm wrong, because it's what I believe. And you could say that you don't agree. You could say that you don't believe. You can say a lot of things, but you really can't say I'm wrong. If I talk about what my faith has done for me, you also can't say I'm wrong. And I'm not looking to make this religious today. I'm just saying you have to have a strong faith. You have to build. You have to focus up here right now, guys. You really need to be investing in yourself. I don't know that I'd invest in real estate. Real estate's pretty scary. I don't know that it's a bubble. I'm not going to say that it's a bubble, but to me, real estate's very scary. I've never had an interest in owning real estate. Stocks, just as nuts. I do have more faith in the stock market to be going up and to the right. There are times when it drops drastically down to the left, where a market crashes, but I think long term the market will survive up and to the right. So I invest into a total market ETF, which is like a mutual fund, except for it's traded like a stock. I kind of like that better. So I'm in a long-term ETF. I don't even look at the numbers. I just put my money in. I look at the numbers the day I put my money in, and I walk away. I don't think about it all year until somebody asks me about it. Scott says, being a landlord sucks. I sold all but one of my rentals. Scott had a great point of view in the comments yesterday. I probably should look it up. I don't remember exactly what it's about, but I remember Scott had a great point of view. Thank you for that, Scott. But guys, listen, you have to invest in yourself. If you are really wide in your selections to sell, to resell, you may want to take into consideration these are pretty crazy times, and pick your core, find your core. Arthur says, I'm actually looking at buying multiple rental properties. If you can, listen, real estate, the market is, the market is based on where you're at. Right now, there's probably great steals to be had in New York City, in Los Angeles, in these big metropolitan areas, because we have almost overnight gone to Zoom meetings. You don't have to go in anymore. Where I'm located, if you're asking 200,000, you'll probably get an offer for 220 within 24 hours of listing. The rich Californian foreigners are selling their big estates for cash. I don't know where all this money's coming from. They're coming out here into the desert. As long as they accept the political views of the area, I'm fine with that. And they have a big bank behind them to buy property. So they're not scared to overpay for property here. The values of the property here are just, they're up by 50% from last year, probably. It's crazy. I've never seen anything so crazy in my life. I was at a friend's house. They knocked on the door and asked if they could buy the house. It wasn't for sale. They just seen it on Zillow and liked the house. So it really, real estate really depends on where you are and what you know about it. I know nothing about real estate. This is the first home I've ever been able to actually own. I've always rented. I never had money to buy a house. Hell, it's the first time I've had a roof over my head this long at one time, one address. When I was young, midnight moves was a habit. It was nothing to get woken up at midnight and say, okay, we got to move. Landlord's locking us out tomorrow. We got to save what we can. So, you really need to, the one thing we can do right now is we can focus on us. If you focus on where you are, what your core strengths are, what's your strongest selling area? Do you sell 20 different items on eBay? Where do you make most of your money from? Is there 5 items, 5 types of items that you make the most money on over and over again? Is that your core? Find your core. Really strengthen up for a storm. Record Crate is asking, what is the name of the inventory management app you mentioned last week? You mentioned it was great for eBay in your warehouse. It's Ecom Dash, the letter ECOMDASH. They are good. It's not it's dash, D is in dog. Good salt. I like it. That doesn't mean it's going to work perfect for you. Again, you have to try your own. Guys, you have to focus. This is why I stay away from the chat in here, because I get distracted too easy. And you're welcome. You have to focus on what you can do, what you're good at. That doesn't mean you work 24 hours a day and you don't, try new things. I'm trying several new things. But my core focus has to be on me and my business and the future. I'm still trying to answer the question, where do I see my company in 10 years? I believe I'm not going to be able to answer that until at least June or July. More than likely, it won't be until December. I need to see what happens with what I'm doing. And I need to see if this dark cloud of a storm coming is really going to be a storm. The one thing I've learned living in this valley where I'm at, I'm in a bowl. I have mountains 360 degrees around me. I'm literally like in a bowl. I'm at 250 feet. To leave here and go anywheres, I have to reach an elevation of about 3,800 feet minimum to get to the other side. There's no way out of this bowl except for over. A lot of dark clouds. You could see them coming through the mountains, and they go right over the valley, and we don't get any rain. It rained the last couple of days. It's the first time in 18 months. I've seen a lot of dark clouds. I've seen a lot of dark skies. I've seen lightning out here, but the water doesn't happen. The storm doesn't actually happen. We hear the rumblings. We keep the windows closed. We stay inside. We do the things that we should do, because flash flooding around here will happen in a blink of an eye and cut you off from getting home. So that's where I'm at. And that's what I feel like I'm doing right now. I see the clouds in the mountains. I see the dark clouds coming to our economy. Can it just be dark clouds that pass over and rain in Japan? I don't know. It could rain in the middle of the ocean. I really don't know. What I know is I feel like I need to work on my luck. Luck is labor under correct knowledge. I'm working. I'm trying to gather the best knowledge that I can for my business. If you read my post today, I am trying to get my next step is to get all my emails into a funnel so that they can be read and passed along to whoever needs to read them. I get thousands of emails a day, guys, from eBay, from Walmart, from Amazon. A lot of times it's just saying your item shipped, your item shipped, your item was paid for, this sold, that sold. Nonsense emails that can get sorted out or deleted. But then there's these emails that I really need to see, but because there's so much noise going on, I don't hear that one piece that I really needed. So I'm trying to work on that. But today, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing today. I'm taking the day off. Yesterday just sucked. I had a lot of problems, starting with I didn't buy GameStop as it went to $340. I am going to look at that move here in a few minutes. I want to see what happens after the opening bell, where the price goes to. If the price goes way up, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not going to buy it. But I will throw $100 at it if I can, and just ride it out and see what happens. If it gets down around, if it gets down low enough, I'll make money on it. So what I'm saying is you got to do you. And today I'm doing me. I'm getting ready to load up my buggy, my side-by-side, my race car, whatever the hell you want to call it. We are going to illegally, don't tell nobody, illegally cross the bridge and run into the Nevada desert. The Nevada side, the other side of the Colorado River is sand. I can run it I can really run it. I can get it up around 80, 85 sometimes out in that soft sand, and I'm enjoying it. I am forced to focus on my driving because there's a lot of ruts out there. So it pushes everything else out of my mind. We'll be going in a group, so I don't have to worry about getting stuck out in the middle of nowhere by myself. But I need a day just to blow off steam. So that's where I'm headed. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope I helped you a little. Remember, you got to get off your ass and hit the subscribe button. Get off your ass and hit the subscribe button. If you do nothing else today, I would really appreciate that. God loves you. Lord knows I am trying. but I got to go racing. Bye, guys.